there's also this thing that I find really interesting, and I've gone on record. I think Tony Khan is, from the time, I don't know him as a human, right? I know him through being able to interview him and email with him back and forth a few times. But I feel like he's probably a pretty good dude if just based on what I have seen and things that I've talked to him on and off the record. But at the same time, he is a billionaire who's running a company. AEW doesn't they don't support a union for the wrestlers. Not that we've heard anything about them kiboshing one. Like the wrestlers don't have a union, but I'm sure Tony Khan is better off for them not having a union. We know that their TV deal increased, X fold, and I know that the wrestler salaries did not increase by the same multiplier. Not that I expected it to. Tony Khan is a businessman. He put all the money into that company. He can run the business so it's not even a judgment on that. But my overall sort of question to you is, why do you think the AEW fans look at Tony Khan as like, we need to protect this guy, we need to save this guy? Anybody says anything bad about our guy TK, like, we can make fun of him being a little goofy or doing stuff like this.
Today's been one of the greatest days in the history of AEW.
He always does, like, that kind of, like, they can make fun of it, but the second anybody goes, I don't think this booking is great, like, they're so ready to defend him. What is it about Tony that makes that fan base so defensive, almost to the point of apologizing for him? But
I think Tony represents a team, right? Like your sports team that you root for, and he's the mouthpiece for that, and he's kind of like the leader of that. So it's funny how when there's been studies on like group psychology, and how when you get a group together that has a similar belief, individual consciousness goes out the window, and it becomes kind of like a collective conscious. It's actually kind of scary when you actually read all the studies, and that's what happens in sports. Have you ever noticed when you go to a Niners game or a Giants game, everybody loves each other because they're all there for the Giants or the Niners, right? Or the Warriors.
Except for when the Dodgers come in and I see all them blue shirts, I start hating everybody.
But that's different. But okay, but then the Giants fans collectively hate the Dodgers
together.
fans.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't matter. You honestly, you could be right next to somebody who like, and I'm gonna get very dark here, but this is the only example that comes to my mind, like a child predator or something, right? And they're a Giants fan. Doesn't matter, because we're on the same team, and we're gonna hate the Dodgers together. There's part of our brain where the frontal lobe, where reasoning is, shuts off, and the survival aspect of it, which is the midbrain, turns on, and it's all very emotion based. And right now we're at the point, and this took years to get to this point, where we are in that tribalism part with AEW and WWE, and I don't even see any way around it. We're gonna have to see it play out and see where these companies are in 10 years, because now it's gonna become generational. So it's to the point now where it doesn't. Tony Khan is just a representation of the team. Nobody even knows the man. The man could be worse than Vince for all we know. We don't know. That would be pretty hard, but we don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. But he could have done some horrible things. We'll never know, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter, because he's our leader, and he represents the team that I root for and I identify with. Because remember, what we do as fans too is that we attach part of our identity onto whatever we're rooting for. So if you're attacking Tony Khan, you're also attacking me, because so much of my identity is based on that product, and so it gets very intertwined like that, especially when you start making friends that are also supportive of AEW. Then it becomes even harder to break that chain. So that's why people are very protective. They're protecting themselves by protecting Tony Khan.